Have you ever passed by an abandoned building and felt like it was staring back at you? There's a church in the middle of nowhere, crumbling from years of neglect, but locals swear something still resides inside. What they don't know is that someone finally decided to explore it, and they didn't come back the same. There's something deeply unsettling about abandoned places. Silent, empty, yet filled with the echoes of what once was. For decades, the old St. Mary's Church has been the focus of whispered legends, a place no one dares to enter after dark. People say they've seen shadows moving in the broken windows and heard faint whispers, even though no one's been inside for years. But one man decided to challenge the rumors, hoping to debunk the town's spooky tales. What he found will make you question everything you think you know about the world. Jason was new to town. A freelance photographer with a taste for urban exploration, he wasn't one to shy away from eerie places. When he heard about the church from a chatty barista, he dismissed the stories as small-town superstition. He figured it would make for a great photo series, a forgotten relic of the past. What he didn't anticipate was the chilling reception he'd get before even stepping inside. The locals weren't just uneasy, they were terrified. One old man at the bar grabbed Jason's arm and hissed, "You don't go there. Nobody does. It doesn't let you leave the same." Jason laughed it off, but the man's words stuck with him. Still, curiosity got the better of him. Armed with his camera and flashlight, Jason decided to explore the church at dusk, ignoring the ominous warnings etched into every face he'd spoken to. The road to the church was overgrown and barely passable, the kind of path that felt forgotten by time itself. As Jason approached, he noticed how the surrounding area seemed wrong. Trees leaned unnaturally toward the church, as if bowing or recoiling, and the air carried a strange, metallic tang. The church loomed ahead, its steeple jagged like a broken tooth against the dimming sky. The front doors, once majestic oak, were now splintered and ajar. Jason hesitated for the first time. That's when he noticed the symbols carved into the doorframe, intricate patterns he couldn't decipher, but they seemed to pulsate under his flashlight. Inside, the air was colder, heavier. Dust floated in thick beams of light, and the floor creaked with every step. Jason's flashlight swept across rows of broken pews, a shattered altar, and a collapsed ceiling that revealed fragments of the sky. It was eerily quiet, except for one thing, the faintest sound of a child humming. Jason froze. He hadn't heard it outside. It was coming from deeper within. He followed the sound, heart pounding. The humming led him to a door at the back of the church, half hidden behind fallen debris. It looked newer than the rest of the building, almost as if it didn't belong. He hesitated, then pushed it open. What he saw defied explanation. The room wasn't a room at all. It was circular, its walls covered in the same pulsating carvings as the doorway outside. In the center was a small wooden crib, rocking slowly on its own. The humming grew louder, but it wasn't coming from the crib. It was the walls. Jason stepped closer, drawn by a force he couldn't resist. Peering into the crib, he saw nothing. It was empty. Yet the rocking intensified, and the carvings on the walls seemed to glow, casting an otherworldly light. Jason tried to back away, but his feet wouldn't move. The humming turned into whispers, a cacophony of voices speaking in languages he didn't recognize. And then the light from his flashlight went out. The whispers stopped, replaced by a deafening silence. Jason could feel something behind him, breathing, watching. He turned, but there was nothing there. Suddenly, the door slammed shut, plunging him into total darkness. He scrambled for his phone, using its dim screen as a makeshift light. The walls were closing in, the carvings twisting and writhing as if alive. A single phrase echoed through the room, chilling and deliberate. "You shouldn't have come." Jason's screams were swallowed by the church as the light on his phone flickered and died. The next morning, locals noticed Jason's car parked near the church. The doors were wide open, his camera on the passenger seat, but Jason himself was never found. Weeks later, someone developed the film from his camera, hoping for clues. What they saw were photos of the church's interior, each more disturbing than the last. The final photo was of the crib, now occupied by something too dark to describe. To this day, no one else has dared to approach St. Mary's Church. But some say, if you drive by late at night, you can hear faint whispers calling you to come inside. Subscribe for more stories that will make you think twice about the unknown.